Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a chipmunk. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the body. An easy way to draw a circle is to first make a couple of small marks to indicate the circle's length, and then on the sides make a couple more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then just connect the small marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. You don't have to draw a perfect circle, but if you're having trouble drawing one, just trace the outer edge of a cup, a lid, or anything else with a circular edge. On the top right side, draw a smaller circle as a guide for the head. Make this circle about 1/3 the size of the first circle. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video as you follow along to draw at your own pace. Inside the head, draw a long sloping line as a construction guide. Extend the bottom line so that it's outside of the circle. Make a small mark on the right tip of the construction guide. Connect the small mark to the head using curved lines to finish the guide for the muzzle. The muzzle is basically a small arc on its side. On the top left side of the head, draw a small arc as a guide for the ear. The bottom part of this arc should be inside the head. To the right, draw a smaller, thinner arc as a guide for the other ear. Connect the two circles using curved lines to create the top part of the body. The top part of the body should be wide. On the bottom right side of the body circle, draw a long angled line as a guide for the leg. The leg should be similar to the letter L. Inside the top part of the body, draw a shorter angled line as a guide for the arm. Starting on the bottom left side of the body, draw a long curved line as a guide for the tail. The tail should be long in relation to the body. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small circle for the eye. Place the eye on top of the construction guide and close to the center of the circle. The eye should be big in relation to the head. When you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the shape. As you darken the shape, make the sides pointier for the corners of the eye. Add a couple of curved lines around the eye for creases. Keep the lines close to the shape of the eye. Inside the eye, off to the side, draw a tiny circle for a highlight. On the tip of the muzzle, lightly sketch a small angled line for the nose. The nose should be similar to the letter V. When you get the shape of the nose right, darken the line. Curve the right side of the line upward for the front of the nose. Below the nose, draw a horizontal line for the mouth. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the line when you get the shape right. Draw a short curved line to the right for the front of the muzzle. Under the mouth, draw a line that curves to the left for the chin. Use short strokes as you darken the line for a furry texture. Darken the guide above the nose for the top part of the muzzle. Darken the big arc on the head to create the ear. Extend the bottom of the line so that it's inside the head. Draw a couple of long wavy lines inside the shape for the ear's opening. Add a few curved lines within the shape to give the ear structure. Darken the arc on the right for the other ear. Use the initial lines and shapes as guides to draw the rest of the head. Simply darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the head. Use short strokes as you darken the path of the guides to create a furry texture. Leave a few blank gaps as you darken the left edge of the head. Use the angled line under the front part of the body as a guide to draw the arm. First, lightly sketch the shape of the arm around the guideline. Make the top part of the arm wide and then gradually make it thinner toward the bottom. Make the front tip of the arm curved. When you get the shape of the arm right, darken the lines. Use a series of short strokes as you darken the arm to create a furry texture. On the tip of the arm, draw a few small curved lines for the digits. Draw a curved line at the top for an acorn. Draw a short line at the bottom too. Add a few short lines to the left for the visible portion of the other arm. Use the long angled line at the bottom as a guide to draw the leg. Draw the top of the leg as a long curved line across the body. Draw the foot at the bottom along the path of the guide. On the right side, draw a few long thin shapes for the toes. Curve the edges of the shapes for the joints on the toes. Make the tips of the toes round. Darken the outer edges of the guides to create the rest of the body. Use a series of short strokes as you darken the body to create a furry texture. Use the curved line on the bottom left side as a guide to draw the tail. Draw the shape of the tail around the guideline. Use longer strokes on the tail for the longer fur. Draw a few curved lines within the body for the markings on the back. Follow the curvature of the body as you draw these lines. Use short strokes for a furry texture. Now go over the final lines with permanent ink. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. Take your time and be careful when you ink your drawing to avoid any accidents. Don't ink the initial guidelines, only the final drawing. When the ink dries, erase all of the guidelines. Add a bit more ink to emphasize the fur and the dark markings on the fur. As you add more ink, use strokes that go in the direction of the fur. On the head, the fur radiates outward from the nose. Add ink to the eye, but leave a small section blank for a highlight. Use more ink along the back to create the stripes on the fur. Add longer strokes on the muzzle for the whiskers. Rotate the strokes along the back to follow the curvature of the body. Use strokes within the tail too. Now color your drawing. Color the main part of the body using different shades of brown. Color lightly at first and gradually build up to darker colors. For a light shade of a color, push down very lightly on your pencil, then push down harder for a darker shade. Just like with the inks, use strokes that go in the direction of the fur as you color. Color the top of the head using dark brown. Leave a section around the eye blank for the white fur. Use dark shades of brown to create shadows throughout the body. Shadows will give the figure more dimension and volume. Use light shades of brown to create highlights. Add a bit of blue to the shadows and orange and yellow to the highlights. As you color, separate each stroke a bit so that the white of the paper comes through and creates a furrier texture. Continue to use different shades of brown throughout the body. Slowly blend the colors together. Push down slightly harder on your pencils to blend the colors together. Draw a cast shadow at the bottom using gray and a bit of blue. Coloring can be time-consuming, so be patient and take breaks. Keep coloring until you're happy with the result. And that's it for the chipmunk. Don't forget to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com for more tutorials. That's how and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.